On over to you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to ACI's first ever Ask the Candidates webinar. I'm John Becker.
And I'm Terry Warren. John and I will be co-moderating today's session, and we're glad you've joined us for this opportunity to hear directly from the candidates running for our next Executive Council. John and I are both current members of the Executive Council, but neither of us is running for the election this time around.
We have 12 candidates running this year. 11 of them are able to join us for tonight's webinar. One candidate had a prior commitment and is unable to attend, but I will read a statement from her in a moment.
We want to be very clear. Participation in this webinar is not mandatory, and attendance or non-attendance should not be used as a factor for deciding your vote. All candidates have had an equal opportunity to engage, and we encourage you to review all submitted candidate materials before casting your vote.
We have a short statement from Rachel Miller, who was unable to attend. Hello, fellow ACI members. I'm so sorry that I am unable to be with you tonight due to an unusual scheduling conflict. I wanted to send my best to the other candidates, thank the Leadership Recruitment Committee, thank our members for being here, and express my commitment to this process. Please reach out to me via the candidate website if you'd like my answer to any questions asked tonight. With gratitude, Rachel Miller.
Thanks, John. Before we begin, we'd like to share a few ground rules to ensure this event runs smoothly and respectfully. For all the participants, please remain courteous. This is a space for constructive dialogue. Personal attacks or disruptions have no place at all here tonight. Timing is limited, so we'll stringently manage the time for questions and answers.
For our candidates, you'll each have 1 minute to respond to each question. Please stay focused on the question at hand. No interrupting or personal remarks directed at the other candidates. For our members, if you submitted questions in advance, thank you. We've grouped similar questions to ensure fairness and clarity. For your live questions, please keep them brief and focused on issues, not individuals. And disruptive or inappropriate behavior will result in removal from the session.
As moderators, John and my role is to remain neutral, enforce the time limits, and facilitate a conversation that allows all voices to be heard.
To kick things off, we'll invite each candidate to share a brief 15-second introduction. We'll go in reverse alphabetical order by last name. So we'll start with Carl. Terry has one more paragraph, sorry.
After that, we'll begin the Q&A portion. John and I will take turns presenting questions, some from member submissions, and time allowing, some from the live audience that we can find in the chat.
With that, why don't we begin? And you have 15 seconds to do a short introduction of yourself, and we'll start with Carl.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ask the Candidates session. My name is Carl Washburn from Indianapolis. I have had an Airstream since 2023. I have a 23-foot flying cloud. I work full-time for Eli Lilly as Director of Quality. My traveling companion is my French bulldog.
Oh. Okay, the time is up, so I'll move on to Jenny.
Thank you. First, I want to take part of my 15 seconds to thank you for tuning in and to thank John and Terry for moderating for us. I'm Jenny Schnettler. I live in Canton, Ohio. I am a current member of the EC, and I look forward to hopefully to serve you again. Thank you.
James?
Hello, everyone. My name is James Schall. I'm from the beautiful state of Virginia. I am the current youngest president of the Vintage Airstream Club. I've been an Airstreamer since 2016, and I absolutely love the community.
Millie?
I'm also a 2016 alumni, James. I got my first Airstream, hit the road full time, and have never looked back. The Airstream community has literally become my family. I'm a current EC member and really hoping to serve a little bit more. Thank you.
Artie?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Hardy Martin, and I'm closing in on a 15-year member of the Kentucky Airstream Club. I have the dubious distinction of being Region 5 president for 2 complete terms. I'm looking forward to speaking with you tonight and sharing my thoughts.
Cody?
Hello, everyone. I'm Cody Klingler. I'm from Western Pennsylvania, and I'm the immediate past president of the Almano Airstream Club. I've been a member since 2017 and have held various roles at both the regional and international levels. Thank you.
Ken?
My name is Ken Johansson. Thank you all for being with us. I've been a member since 1998, and I've held all kinds of positions from local to region. I did the Balloon Fiesta. I was the host of that. So thank you for being here. Thank you.
Dendy?
Hey, I'm Dendy Jarrett. I'm coming at you from Nashville, Tennessee. Big Red numbers 22342. I am the first VP of the Music City Airstream Club located in Region 6 and the president of the WBCCI Foundation. Love to talk more about Airstream owners giving back. Thank you.
Jan?
Hi, I'm Jan Huebner. My husband and I, Charles, we have been members of the Arkansas Razorback Club now for almost 8 years. We are very active in other clubs around. We're members of all the affiliated clubs in Region 6. I'm currently the president of Region 6, been on the IBT for 2 years, and I'm looking forward to stepping over to the EC.
Bill?
Bill Hamblin here. Feel like I'm the newbie member since 2021. Joined the club the night we picked up our trailer, and shortly thereafter went full time and have been enjoying the club and all it has to offer, and really want to give back.
And Kendall?
Hello, everyone. Kendall Felder from Region 3, Florida. Recent members of the Georgia Airstream Club. Love it. Current member on the EC, and we have been Airstream members since 2018 and loving it. Thank you guys very much.
Okay. Well, we'll now start with the live questions. I'll do the first one, and then I'll alternate with Terry as we go through. The first question comes in from Tab Adams and says, I know the candidates have kind of already answered this, but I'd like to know more about specific ideas that they may have to further promote the club and retain members. We'll reverse the order this time, so we'll start with you, Kendall.
I'm a little unbiased because I'm working on it, but my kind of creation of creating the app was my way of promoting the club, getting out to more members and getting into their hands. So continuing to work on that and make it better. I'm appreciating all the feedback I'm getting back so that we can continue strengthening the app and pushing it out and trying to create that create a younger generation of members coming to the club. And that's my big push.
Okay. Bill?
There we go, unmuted. Yeah, I have just tried to really stay engaged with the club, gotten involved in some of the RV shows, going out and trying to talk up, just the club itself, what it's about. As people are looking to buy Airstreams, they may already know about the trailers themselves, but they don't necessarily know about the club. And it's been really great to get out there and see people's reactions to, a group of 10 or 20 of us standing around, just jaw jacking and having fun and showing people what the club's all about. And, the other membership perks are great as far as, tire plans and things like that. But really the membership itself and the people, I think, are really what keep people coming back and will keep people engaged in the club and attract new members.
Thanks, Bill. Jan? You're muted, Jan. Still muted.
Okay, is that better? Get our youth
Yes.
more involved. As I have said in the past, I want to grow our club younger, but not forget about our old members at the same time. Anytime you're at an RV park, you see people out there, they're looking, they're acting interested, visit with them, invite them in. You don't have to take them in your Airstream. They can look inside maybe, but let people know what you're doing and what you're there for and what the club is all about. You'll be surprised when those people leave the RV park, they'll roll down the window and say, "We'll see you again." And that's how the club grows. Everybody needs to grow by their actions, and I think that's what we can do as a group of people. Just keep inviting, growing, and keeping our people and our members, keep them happy.
Thanks, Jan. Dendi?
Yeah, I think we are our own best ambassadors in the organization. I'm surprised when I go to rallies or to go camping and I find somebody who owns an Airstream, how often they've never heard of the club and they don't know. So I think, just being good ambassadors for the club, remembering that the core purpose of the club is to foster a community of Airstream owners and enthusiasts who share common values and goals for loving what we do in Airstream. So I think just keeping that in mind and, promote the club. And it reminds me of an old TV commercial about shampoo. I'm dating myself. About, you tell someone and they tell someone and so on and so on. And that way, if everybody in the club invited one new member, we'd double the club membership.
Thank you, Dendi. Ken?
I think the ideas that we've been talking about, I think, are great. In addition, I think working with the dealers, and I think the program that we had for new people buying trailers was great. And I think great events. If we have great events, it'll attract people. And the example I'm going to give you is I started Balloon Fiesta back in 2006, I believe. And the goal was I invited people, not only members, but also anybody that had an Airstream. If you had an Airstream, we wanted you to be at Balloon Fiesta. And we signed up more people over the 17 years that I was involved with Balloon Fiesta into the Airstream Club. So it seems to me like we need to just be very inviting in the things that we do. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. Cody?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that, when I was international membership chair, I helped, start the Explore program. And the big thing was getting people to events. If you can get them to an event and they can see what, a rally or even a luncheon is all about and have that camaraderie with other Airstreamers, they'll keep coming back. And so once you get them there, you have to get them there. But then the second thing is how many of our clubs, have members that we've never met, we've never seen before. And how many of those members have we actually picked up the phone as officers or whatnot and spoken to them and found out, what's going on in their lives or, introduced them to us, invited them out to something. And so that's something I think we need to get back to is, for retention purposes, contacting those people we've never met and inviting them out to something and getting them involved as well.
Thank you, Cody. Artie?
Yes, I'm still the current membership chairperson on Region 5. And of course, that involves sending out the reports that we get for new members, contacting new members, sending a welcome email, making sure that the local presidents are aware of all the new members, whether or not they've joined a club already or whether or not they're members at large. Getting them to a rally, But once you get them to the rally, we have found in Kentucky and maybe some of the other clubs are doing the same thing. Once you get them around a campfire, it always seems like there's the new person will congregate around somebody that they feel comfortable with. And before you know it, they're off in the corner at the campfire and they're talking all about the club. Then when you get up the next morning and you're having coffee before the donuts arrive, and there you are sitting at the table and you're sharing things as you get to know these people about everything the club stands for.
Thanks, Artie. Thank you. The time is up, so I'll over to you, Millie.
Thank you, John. I agree with what everybody said, with the addition of stalking. When I'm out traveling and I see Airstreams with no big red number, I'm finding a way to connect with those people and talk to them. And maybe they just didn't put their numbers up, but maybe they aren't in the club yet. I've met people that had never heard of the club, and it's a great opportunity to chat with them. And I use social media for good and not evil, and spread information about rallies and gatherings and talk to folks wherever I can. Like I said, this is my family and I'm serious about it. And I talk about it all the time. We have to keep talking.
Thank you, Millie. James?
Yeah, the answer is simple. I think it's all about having fun. If we can really work on creating unforgettable experiences and unforgettable rallies, people will follow. And that's really the number one thing. I have really worked hard over the last couple of years on the Vintage Airstream Club's dance. It started with 300 members showing up, and now we're up to 1,500 members showing up. Just shows you if we keep having fun year after year, it's going to continue growing. And that is, I believe, how we get retention on both, current members and the next generation of members. It's all in fun.
Thank you, James. Jenny?
Thank you. An interesting thing happened. This past January, I went down to the Tampa RV show to sit and man the desk for the Airstream Club. And we were invited by the dealer. And I found that link between Airstream Inc., the dealer, and our club is so powerful that that's really the conduit for new members. The dealership, where they're buying the Airstream and they're finding out about the club. The dealers there were wonderful, and we were wonderful in return. We met a ton of people who didn't even know about the club, and Airstream Inc. stood up by our side through the whole thing. So that partnership, to me, has been the single biggest reason for this launch forward in our recent growth. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. And Carl?
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted, Carl.
Got it. Thank you. Little did I know what an amazing organization the Airstream Club is before I joined. I have an entire box full of flamingos. I've been shown so much love and support. I've made so many friends. It has literally blown me away. And I think that vibrancy, that culture that we have, talking about us as a family, as an organization, is going to go a long way for people being attracted to that. When I go camping, I walk the campground. Every Airstream I see, I go talk to them, introduce myself, and ask them if they're a member of the club. If they're not, I tell them how amazing it is. So I think that we are our own best ambassadors by sharing the culture, the vibrancy of our organization with everyone that we meet. We'll be able to continue to recruit members and increase the strength of our club.
Thank you, Carl. I'm going to turn it over to Terry now, who will handle the next question.
So our next question, and we're going to change the format just a little bit. So I hope that you know how to raise your hand. There's a little thing at the bottom that says raise your hand, and I hope that you can see it. So when you want to answer this question, we'll go a little bit different format. So this one comes from Fran Holberg, whose big red number is 19479. In what ways have you helped the local club, your region, and the international club? So Lori says, answer that one live. So Miss Jenny, you've got your hand up first.
Well, many of you already know, but this past 2 years, I've been serving on the EC, and it's been very, very driven on projects. One of the biggest projects that I personally have been involved in is the project manager for the restoration of the brand new club building that we purchased right next door to what was our other club headquarter building. The project involved 23 volunteers. We came in under budget and on time and blew everybody away with how much more we were able to deliver than had been originally expected. So from that standpoint, that led to the next part, and we're going to continue renovating, restoring, and expanding our campus to provide a lot of member benefits, including camping, club showers and laundry, and a pavilion and a campfire site, including a dog park. So we've had a lot of exciting things happen for our club. Thanks.
Thanks, Jenny. I think Bill, your hand was up next. Bill Hamblin.
All right. Yeah. So, aside from just trying to be a good ambassador for the club, I'm currently the first vice president for the Florida Suncoast unit, and there I've tried to help them grow both, membership and also activity and participation. chaired some rallies and just tried to keep that club growing. With international side from going to the RV show last year to sit and talk about the Explorer program, going to be doing that again this year in Hershey, Pennsylvania after York, where I'll also be chairing the Table and Chairs Committee again, like I did last year in Sedalia, and helping my wife Frances, who will be chairing the Photography Committee. And funny enough, yeah, at the Region 3 rally, I ended up doing tables and chairs again there. So I think this might be something that's sticking. But anyways, just trying to volunteer, trying to help out and be a good ambassador on any level.
Thanks so much, Bill. Kendall, you're up.
Hello, everyone. If you were in Sedalia last year, you more than likely saw me running around like a chicken with my head cut off doing AV. I did AV in Sedalia. We're doing AV again in York, as well as my wife, Melanie, putting on the pet show in Sedalia, and she's doing it again for York. So we are involved. On top of that, I started this year with dark hair, a little bit live, but doing the app, and it's now gray. So the app has been a big achievement of mine this year, and loving all of it. And don't forget the last 2 years in the EC. So it's been fun, having fun, doing lots, learning lots, and I love it. Thank you much.
Thanks, Kendall. Hey, James, you're next.
Well, thank you. So I started at the local level when I was about 16 years old. We were really lacking on our newsletter. So I started there and did that for a couple years. And then I went into being their director for another 2 years after that. And kind of got the bug for volunteerism and, just having fun at these rallies and meeting amazing people. So I stepped onto the Vintage Airstream Club's board. And basically, we've really grown a lot over the last couple of years. But my most fun project as of right now is we've just come up with a Wally Byam bourbon bottle. Now, it's not full of bourbon when you get it. I have filled it with my own bourbon. But basically, I'm all about creating new and recreating fun ideas. This was something that Wally and/or Airstream had done back in 1957. And the program is basically you can go onto our website and buy it, but all the proceeds are going towards the new clubhouse.
Thank you so much, James. We just ran out of time there. Miss Millie, you're next.
Thank you, Terry, and thank you, everybody, for being here. I think the main theme you can hear through this is volunteerism. It really does take a village, and we're kind of the faces of the village. Showing up, I started out as a as a local officer, and doing every volunteer job you can at rallies, and then at region rallies. And then at international, it's just become my new hobby, is finding a different thing to volunteer at every single year to kind of learn all the jobs. And by the way, we still have openings for the septic crew. So who wants to come along and help us out this year? Just holler at us. There's so much to do. And every little bit, all these things that you're hearing, from fundraising to building a new building, every bit of it helps to strengthen the club.
Thanks, Millie. Hey, Cody, you're next.
Thanks, Terry. So, if we look at, just volunteering for the club, I've held just about every position in our local club. I've, been membership chair and the current newsletter editor for Region 2, and then the past international membership chair. But I think one of the big things that I remember when I first joined the club is that Almano had, a lot of older members, and one of them was doing all the roles. And I volunteered to kind of take over membership chair for her, and she was very happy with that. And unfortunately, she ended up passing away suddenly. And so I got thrust into all the roles, and our club really lost a lot of information because she had it on, saved on her computer. So we implemented, data retention policies and updated newsletters, and just to make sure that the longevity of our local club would continue on, for many years to come.
Thank you so much, Cody. Miss Jan, you're next.
Hi, I'm very proud that Fran asked this question. Fran is from Region 6, the Music City Club, and they're always asking questions. There you go, Dindy. Anyway, I'm here and I'm always working to help these clubs. If they need some help, I'm there for them. If I don't know the answer, I will go and find the answer. And then as far as working in the clubs, I invite them all to come and work with me. I work in the welcome committee. So when you go to international, you will come to my group. They're going to be there with smiles, and they're going to greet each and every one of you because they're so happy to see you. And here we are again having fun, and we've all come together. But seriously, the best thing to do is we are there for our clubs. We answer the questions and we find out what their needs are. You know, even if it's just as Fran needed, she needed some little rings on her flagpole. We worked on that until she found new flagpoles and purchased them for the club. It's the little things like that that keeps the club.
Thanks so much, Jan. Hey, Ken, you're next.
Easy question for me. I started the Four Corners unit, of which eventually grew to about 300 members. And when we looked at the statistics, 88% of the members were new to the club. So it was a very successful thing. I also started the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta Rally. We started out with 20 trailers. We ended up with 200 until they cut us back to 150. And during that time, we had over 2,000 people attend that event. It's a very, very talked about event all over we had people from literally all over the world come to that event. So I was the one who started that. I also started what was originally called the Vintage Trailer Academy, where we didn't just have hobbyists teach vintage restoration skills. We had experts teaching those skills. And we had, again, people from all over the country that came to that rally and learned a lot about their trailers. So those.
Thank you, Mr. Ken. We ran out of time a little bit there, but thank you. Artie, your turn.
Thank you, Terry. Couple of things that I'm most proud of is I've been the Blue Beret editor for the Blue Beret magazine for Region 5, I think mostly for 10 years now. Another thing that I'm really proud of is the fact that when I took over Region 5 president back in 2016, I had 3 months warning as a first VP. And since this time frame, we have doubled the attendance at our Region 5 rallies. Something else that we've done is we've been able to fulfill an entire slate of officers now. And Region 5 hasn't had that history in many years. So collectively building Region 5 and bringing people together and have fun. That's one of the most things I'm proud about with the Airstream Club. Thank you.
Thanks, Artie. Mr. Carl, you're next.
Yeah, am I off mute? Yes.
You are.
I'm currently serving as trustee for Central Indiana Airstream Club. In that role, I was asked to find a charity the club could sponsor, the region could sponsor for a recent Region 5 rally. So that was scary for me. I've never done anything like that before. And I was able to find a charity, a kid again, children who have life-threatening conditions, kind of like Make-A-Wish. Not only did we exceed all expectations for fundraising, but we did something really special. We said, hey, let's create an activity at the region rally. So a kid again has adventures where they send children in need with their families on some fun adventure. We created the ultimate Airstream adventure. And not only figuratively, but we actually welcome them into our homes. We had a tour of Airstreams where.
Carl, I'm so sorry. We ran out of time there. It sounds like a great event. Dendy, you're next.
Thank you, Terry. So, I think as a prospective leader and a current leader in the club, I'm the first VP of the Music City Club and president, as I said, of the WBCC. I think it's about giving back. But more importantly, it's not just what can I do, but it's collectively what can we all do together. I grew up on a little rural farm in South Carolina, Peak, South Carolina, population of 55 still to this day. And my dad used to tell me, Dendy, if you hook one horse to a wagon, it can pull 5,000 pounds. But if you hitch two together in teamwork, they can pull 20,000 pounds. And the math doesn't seem to equate there, but that's the power of teamwork. So I really encourage us to think collectively about what can we all do together to advance the club regionally, locally, internationally.
Thank you so much, Dendy. So John, I think the next question belongs to you.
Okay, I have a question from Gail Harrower. For those of you who don't know her, she's a national caravan leader and I believe a past international treasurer. Her question is, how do you feel about the current structure of the Executive Council? Is it better or worse than before 2022? And go ahead and put your hands up and I'll run through and keep track as we go through. But I see Millie, it looks to me like she had her hand up first on my screen, so go ahead.
Mostly because I've heard that question before, being an EC member over the last almost 2 years. I've heard that question a number of times, and I think in most ways, yes, it's a better structure. I think we have more communication. We work better as a full IBT, and I think it's good progress. Nothing against how we did it before. There was a lot of good qualities to that. This was building on what they started with, and then we're just carrying it forward. Kind of like the horses. We're pulling a little bit more weight, and as we go along, it'll get better and better.
Thank you, James.
Yeah, I really, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has gotten us to where we are today, whether you're a leader and or just a member. I do believe that the way that is set up now does allow for more people like myself that are younger to be able to volunteer and give. We can hop on for 2 years or up to 6. If it's a good fit, then it's meant to be. So it's just it's more opportunity for more people out there. So I think it is a plus.
Thank you, James. Cody?
I think that the current structure of the EC, brought some important changes, especially in how responsibilities are distributed and how continuity is maintained. In some ways, it is better because it provides that stability with roles that allow for better long-term planning and smoother transitions. And having more defined responsibilities can also improve accountability and focus. That said, however, I do believe that there are still some areas that can be refined. And for example, communication between levels of leadership and the general membership could be improved. And we should continually assess whether the structure is truly supporting the club's goals, that being growth, engagement, and service to members. But overall, I do see that the structure, as we continue to step forward, should remain flexible and open to any adjustments based on the feedback evolving the needs of the club.
Thanks, Cody. Bill?
Yes, sorry. So being a little bit newer to the club, we actually joined right before the changes happened. I remember the election and talks. I don't really know much of how it was, actually enacted before. Seeing how it is now, though, I do like how you've got, regional officers, presidents as one side. You've got elected, the EC elected by the general populace to kind of bring in different focus of ideas. You've got regional, maybe a little more tactical to their local regional issues, and then the EC is the overarching, maybe a little more strategic as the club goes. And I see it working well. And I think, as other people have said too, being open-minded and being able to continue to change and grow is a good thing as well, and keeping flexible.
Thank you, Bill. Jennifer? Jenny?
Thank you. Well, as a lot of you know, I was one of the people that helped design the structure that we're in now. That's great, but I see room for improvement. And the biggest room for improvement that I see is in the unity between the region presidents and the executive council as one organized governing body. Right now, it isn't quite as cohesive as it could be. And there's a couple of drawbacks in that. One is that it creates sometimes a lack of trust between the organization, within this organization. It creates a sense of being left out, not clued in on things that are happening. That can all be fixed, and that's definitely worth fixing. What I do think is that it was an improvement because it's bringing a lot more people that can involve themselves with their talent in what our club needs. So I do think it's an improvement, but I think we have far to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Artie?
Yes, because I'll be a layman on this comment because I have not yet served on the EC. But what I see as an outlier looking in from the outside, I say that what we've done is take a lot of work that the region presidents and the executive presidents on the board were handling, And we've spread a lot of that out amongst folks who can continue to work together, take the loads off of the region presidents and definitely the president and vice president of the organization. In that manner, what happens is we have more minds thinking, we have more goals to work with, and I just think it's a better relationship myself. Thank you.
Kendall. Thanks, Artie.
So yes, the way I look at it, the EC is doing a great thing. They've learned from history, took what was there, and now making it better for the future. And coming from the project management world, software world, there's a term we use, it's called agile. Agile is when you release something out there, see how it works. What doesn't work, you tweak on it, you make it better. And I see that's what EC is at now. We have changed the structure. We are now going through that process of seeing what works, what does not work. Let's tweak it and make it better. With agile products, you're constantly improving it, and that's what I think that's what we're at right now. We're in that agile stage of improving the EC and making it better, and using history as our anchor to make us better. Thank you.
Thanks, Kendall. Jan?
Did it this time. Okay, I'm very impressed with the EC. The EC is open to more people. With the turnover of every 2 years, more people have the opportunity to step up and run for the jobs. It opens it up to more skill sets for people to come in. They may have something that was lacking in the EC the 2 years before, that they step up and they bring this to the plate. I too think that we need to work together. As you do new things, you find that they need to be worked on, changed, maybe just do something a little different. And I think we need to work real hard to get the EC and the region presidents on the same meetings, the same vote, have us all there together at the same time to hear about the issues. And I think this will go a very long way with our club. And I really like it. I'm happy to be on here to be running, and I'm excited for all of us. Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. Dendy?
Yep, as already said, can't speak to with authority on what it's like to be a member of the EC yet, but what I can speak to is as a member of Airstream Club International, I love the fact that it makes me feel like we have a voice, and not just a voice, but diversity of voice, and the fact that we have all these people that are willing to bring thought leadership and life experience to make the club better. It takes a servant's heart really to do this kind of work, because it's thankless and it's volunteer and it's it's a lot of work. So I just appreciate that with the EC we do have a voice.
Thank you, Dendy. Ken?
Fortunately, I have been a member long enough to where I've seen both systems work, and the EC's purpose primarily is the day-to-day operation of the club. And what I've seen over the last couple of years is a much more involved and focused group of people running the important day-to-day operations of the club and working with the international board. So I think that, and we have people who really want to be on the EC now and are really engaged and really looking forward to being on the EC. So I think it's a very positive thing that's going on with the Executive Council.
Thanks, Ken. Carl?
My first rally was at Spring Mill State Park in Indiana, and we had a guest, Eric McHenry came, and he spoke to the club, but he sat down next to me, and we had such a good conversation. It a little bit changed my life. He is so humble, so down to earth, and so confident that he inspires others to follow him. That's what I see at the EC level. And that's why I'm a candidate, because of the example that he sets. And I think that that's what we can all show is, but can we set an example that inspires others to follow us?
Thanks, Carl. I'll hand it over to Terry for the next live question.
Thank you, Carl. So our next question comes from our finance director, Alan Robb. And Alan's question is, if you could change one thing about the EC that you don't agree with, what would it be? So Carl, your hand's still up. You might want to put it down until, or maybe you want to leave it up. That's fine. Miss Millie, I think your hand is up first. What would you change about the EC that you don't agree with right now?
I don't know if agree with is the right wording, but I would certainly change the methodology to some of our meetings. We tend to run long. And I think a lot of stuff that we do, we could probably handle via emails. We need to focus our Zoom meetings or Teams meetings to the work at hand and make sure that we're utilizing all these wonderful people to their skill sets. I think also we could change the schedule of the meetings to be a little more inclusive for folks who are still working, because we do have quite a few amazing people who are volunteering and working and active Airstreamers. So to get everybody into the fold, we need to work on our scheduling a little bit. We could do some tweaking, like, who said that? Cody said, Kendall said that. Absolutely.
Thank you, Miss Millie. James?
Yeah, I would love to show the membership just some more of the behind the scenes of the magic that the EC puts forward and gives to the table. I really think it's important for the members that really aren't as engaged to know what is going on and all the other fun and exciting things that do happen within the club, because I think some of them are a little confused with all these other inner workings. See, we're all such a big friend group that we just take for granted what is going on within the club. But there is a whole nother, subset of people that maybe doesn't see all the little fine details. And I'd really love to somehow share some of the behind the scenes, because that's going to ultimately get them excited and want to be more engaged.
Thank you so much, James. Dendy?
Yeah, thank you. So I think that it's really important to remember that we are a camping club. We love Airstreams. And so if I had one recommendation, it would be that we, simplify processes and procedures. This is not 1959. We don't wear suits to fly on planes anymore. I'm overdressed to fly Southwest sitting here. So I just think it's really important that, we realize the importance of the fact that we are one of the largest and oldest brand identified clubs in the world, but we're still just a camping club. We want to, as James said, have fun and promote and advocate for, maybe giving back more, but let's kind of keep it simple.
Sorry, I was on mute because my dog is making noise. Cody, do tell.
Thanks, Terry. I kind of have to, echo a lot of what's been said already. I think that there's some improvement, and I'm looking again from the outside of this, also having not been on the EC, but between the direct engagement and then transparency between the EC and the general membership, I think sometimes it feels like that the general membership is kind of removed from some of the things that the EC does. And I get there's IBT meetings, and we can all read the meeting book and try to decipher what's going on there. But sometimes, as James mentioned, having maybe more of a behind the scenes look at how we got to some of those decisions and how the meetings are put on and whatnot might be a nice way for people to maybe be more engaged. In Almano, we have a saying that says it's just camping, and we kind of have to remember that in order to get people excited about that, we just have to remember that it's just camping.
Thank you so much, Cody and James, for those insightful comments. Jenny?
Thank you, Terry. A couple of things are very important to keep in mind. And one is, this is like Disney World. This is very much like Disney World. We want you to come. We want you to have the time of your life and have no idea what goes on down the level below to make that magic happen. So there are times our EC meetings are not open quite yet to the public. Doesn't mean we're hiding anything. It means we're strategizing. We're trying to figure out how to do something. Those are tedious. What do I see as a way to improve things? 100%. I think that the executive council and the region president should be meeting together all the time. all the time. Doesn't mean IBT meetings. I would still keep those quarterly, but we will continue to have work sessions. We will continue to meet together to strategize. We have very different jobs as far as our division of labor, but there's no reason we can't be sharing a lot of this workload together among 22 instead of 10. So what do I see as an improvement? Bring it all together. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Miss Jenny. Bill? Oop, you're muted.
There. Sorry.
There.
All right. So dovetailing off what Jenny just said, I've heard a lot of that similar feedback from members as we've been traveling and just did the Region 4 rally, and previous to that, the Region 3 rally. And, you know, it seems like the members want more inclusion, and even talking to some of the regional leadership as well. The idea of joint meetings seems to be something that a lot of people really feel would benefit the club. And frankly, I don't see how it couldn't. Getting more on the same page or more involved and having those same discussions just seems to be something that could go a long way, and seems to be something that's being asked for.
So, Bill, you're talking about joint meetings between the region presidents and the EC.
Sorry, yes.
Thank you so much for those ideas. Ms. Jan?
Also, I've already said it, I'm on the same page with the meetings being together. I would like to see us get more information out to the club members. Let them know about the Zoom meetings. Tell them what's going on at the Zoom meetings. This is what we're going to be doing this week. And invite our people to watch and be a part of it. And because when we invite them, we want everybody to watch, then they can't sit back and say, well, we didn't know what's going on. So let's just really work hard together and get this information out. The transparency of the club is probably one of the most important things that we can do. Let people know what's going on and keep them abreast of all of our activities that we're doing and handling. Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. Ken, your thoughts?
To be specific, my understanding is there has been some, I think Jenny kind of brought this up, but there's been some concern about the communication between the EC and the IBT. And I just think it's unbelievably important that we make sure that we communicate with each other, find out, you know, what are we, communication's kind of a funny thing. If I'm telling you something you want to hear, we're communicating. But if I'm telling you something you don't want to hear, then we're not communicating. So it's very, very important to understand from each other, and from all members, what people want, what people need. Every single decision we make, we need to sit there and say, you know, how is this benefiting the members, and let's walk the talk. Let's make sure that we're transparent on everything that we do and involved in. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ken. Artie?
Yes, I really wouldn't want to make any changes because, once again, I haven't sat on the EC Council yet. But a comparison I would like to make would be at the infancy of the first EC Council. At the same time it was being created, the Airstream Club was going through a financial reorganization with Alan Rabb as head of the team, who created an incredible financial team. And moving forward, I think that the Executive Council, in line with the IBT and the Executive Board, moving forward, these are the kind of things that can bring the Airstream Club. Basically, we went from the 1800s to a 2100 type of financial system. And we owe all of that. I'm sure that the EC and the IBT and the Executive Board were all involved in that. So moving forward, I think that having all of us together would be the way to go. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Artie. Kendall?
Having sit on the EC now, there's nothing I will say that we need to change, the things we can improve upon. And the one thing I want to dovetail off on what a lot of us said already is, kind of, especially James, let people say the insight, is that the EC does the back end ugly work, as Melly mentioned earlier, that keeps the organization, the business running so that everyone can go camping and have fun. We do the dirty work so that the club can go out and have fun. So just this link, kind of giving that insight that is behind the peek on the curtain and go, hey, this is what EC does. So I am wholeheartedly in getting all that transparency out there and go, yes, it takes a lot of work to make this 20,000 member strong organization exist and keep growing.
Thank you, Kendall. I'm going to go feed these large Labradors who are making way too much noise, and I'll turn this over to John. Be right back.
Thank you. We have a question from Milo and Diane. Do you support a non-discrimination policy for the club?
Do you mean non-disclosure?
It says non-discrimination policy for the club.
Okay.
And I see Millie has her hand up, so we'll start there.
Thank you, John. Whether it's discrimination or disclosure, I support both of them. If you look at Wally's creed, if you take it back to the beginning, it's always been there. Treating each other with kindness, traveling, looking for adventure, acting as a team, all of those things that we do, it honestly does not matter where you came from, what you look like, who or if you worship, or who or if you love. We're Airstreamers. We all love Airstreams, and we're here because of that. That's our common denominator. As long as we focus on that and make sure that everyone feels welcome and actively do that, look for those first timers, look for those new campers, and make sure they know they're welcome. Absolutely, we have to work on that. Do we need a set policy? We already have it. It's the code of conduct.
Thank you, Millie. Jenny.
I have nothing more to say. Millie, that was perfect. Thank you.
Bill.
Yeah, I mean, really, that really did sum it up. That was kind of where I was going to go with it as far as the code of conduct, and just that's basically what the club was founded on. The only thing I would add to that is, I think as a 503 nonprofit, it's stated by the IRS that we can't have any discriminatory policies. So, I mean, there's the legal side of it. I think we've already met that or had to meet it for that reason too.
Thank you. Dendy.
Yeah, Millie, amen. So, I said I grew up in a little rural town. My parents really instilled in me the golden rule, and I really try to live by that. And I hope that we as members will also do the same.
Thanks, Dendy. James?
Yeah, I just want to go out and say I love everybody. And Millie, I mean, again, you, how do you even follow that? I love quite literally everybody on this planet. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. So thank you.
Cody?
Yeah, I mean, Millie nailed it on the head. I think we have to remember that, this club was built on values of fellowship and shared adventure. And that only works, when inclusion is at its core, and a strong support of non-discrimination will help to ensure that, we can continue to grow as an open and supportive and a very united organization.
Thank you, Cody. Ken?
I don't know if I mentioned this before, I'm a CPA. And I think my knowledge in working with 501c7 organizations over the years can be a great benefit to the club. And specifically, we would lose our tax exemption if we were ever discriminatory in any way. We're required to take everybody. So it's a simple answer. We just are not allowed to discriminate in any way.
Thank you, Ken. Jan?
We come together for one thing. I think Millie said this, and it's that Airstream. That Airstream brings us all together. We come from all different parts of the world. We come from different backgrounds. Some are rich, some are very poor, some of different colors. I mean, we are everything that we come together, and we live let's just say at the International Rally for 1 weekend, we live together as one big family. And it's a beautiful sight. We all leave, we are not around our friends again, but when we come together again, it's just like where we picked up, and everybody enjoys everybody. So I just don't see it being a problem in our club. I'm so happy that it is that way, because that's what makes the harmony, and it's so peaceful and so enjoyable. So thank you.
Thanks, Jan. Artie.
Millie, thank you so much for being the first person to raise your hand on that question. That's it.
Carl.
Yeah, Millie, I think this is an example of what brings us together as a club, is that we are a family, just like you said. I would no more think about any form of discrimination to an Airstream club member than I would to a family member. You're here because we love you. We want you here, and you are welcome. Thank you, Millie, for setting the note that we all can empathize with, and is kind of harmonizing to the entire set of candidates. Thank you.
Thanks, Carl. Kendall.
Millie, I'm gonna keep riding your back like everyone else. Thank you. You said it all, and love everyone. That's just be the golden rule. Love everyone.
Thanks, Kendall. We have just a couple minutes to go, so that will be the last question. I would really like to say thank you to all the candidates for your time and for your thoughtful responses tonight.
And I second that, John. Thank you.
Thank you.
Been
Thank you.
really insightful, and you guys have provided us with more information about how to know you and what you think. And I think the questions were great. I think we could all talk a lot longer, but this is not the format. But I think we
Yep.
all lots of thoughts about this club. Oh, and Amy Fisher says, thanks, everyone. And thank you. And Jen Dice really worked, and her committee worked very hard on organizing this event. And I want to thank them too. It was planful, and there was a lot of work put into it. And we're glad to see all of you. So, John, shall we say goodnight?
Yeah, I would just like to thank the members who did send in questions. We got to as many as we could. Thank you for the people behind the scenes who were running the questions and sending me texts. As a reminder to all the members who are on tonight, this webinar is just one of many tools to help you make an informed decision. We also encourage you to review all the candidate materials that are online before casting your vote. And so on behalf of Airstream Club International, thank you again, and we wish everybody a great evening.
Thanks,
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.